Hi. Alright, we're going to do the rear brakes on this 99 Blaster. I just actually replaced the rear housing on this. The old one let the bearings go bad, and I don't know if you can see, it should be flat, straight, pretty, but it's rough. Picked this piece part up off eBay. It's actually aluminum racing housing, but it has built-in greaser, which is nice, so I'll be using that. Alright, so on the caliper, we're going to the Shorty cable, which eliminates the cable all the way, the long cable to the front, which is this cable. It runs into here, catches the brake lever for the rear brake. Then this cable runs up to the front, comes in here, and actually sets for the parking brake on these blasters. But we're going to eliminate this whole front cable, which is part of the problem it catches, and go in with the new Shorty cable. This runs from here, this point, back to the caliper. This aftermarket part, it's like $25 on the eBay. What you have is, like I said, I've already just changed this housing. So I already had four-wheeler in the air, had both tires off. Be sure to take off your right side tire. And actually I've already got the caliper loose. These are 14s on the lug nuts, 12 millimeter here and here, top of that housing. That's just a little bracket. Then you've got two 12 millimeter bolts here to go into the caliper. Hold it onto that bracket. Already got all that out. Actually already had the caliper loose. Semi-loose. So we're going to be taking this all off, getting that cable off, taking it apart, changing the pads out in that. And this should fix your rear brakes on the Blaster. Alright, like I showed you, we already have the caliper off. Next step is to come up here, do the actual brake handle. This is how you adjust the tension on it. We're going to take this all the way in so we can take the actual cable off from here. Once you get that off, like I said, I'm just loosening that tension up so it's all the way loose. Alright, so we got this loose. You want to align the slots in this washer and this mechanism and bring that around to the front. I know this is going to sound really basic, but line that all up. Pull this out. And it's probably easier underneath. I hope you can see that clearly. This little mechanism pops out, like so. That's got that disconnected. And I'm going to retighten this, leave that put. Now this cable's front brake, so I don't have much room on that either. We're going to change those eventually. You come on down, take this cable out, pull it through, kind of work it. Just work it a little bit until it comes out. Then we're going to work on this. Let's get the cable all the way out. Get this mechanism. You pull this rubber protective sleeve back here. So that this part will slide out backwards and through that slot. Alright, we got that cable out. It's all out. You see we got a few projects going on here. This is actually a little Chevy. Pulling the motor out of that thing. Got a bad transmission. Back there's the Nova. Just traded the Old Toyota for that scooter. Carrie, hi. And once you get that cable loose through here, like I said, you pull this rubber housing off, then this actually will come forward enough to come out here. Well, I hope I didn't miss that. It's pretty simple. I think you all can get that. Ooh, see the rust build up there? Now, this part of the cable goes back. It rides like this normal. Push that back. Then, this little housing, this little keeper here, comes out. It's hard to do this one-handed. There we go. See how that comes out? Goes in right there. Cable rides against it. Inside the actual brake pedal. Alright, got that loose. Next, I'm going to tear apart the caliper. Alright, we got the caliper in the vise. Now this is aluminum part, so it's just lightly, very lightly pinched into the vise. Got the old cable still attached, running down through there. There's a rubber protective housing here. Pop that off. Slide that back. And depending on how this thing is adjusted, you're going to loosen this nut. I did give that a squirt to WD-40, and it is a 12 millimeter here. Get that loosened up. This is just going to allow the caliper to come out easily, and then I'm going to thread this one back in. It's easy just to spin the cable. Then we have some 3 Allen wrenches, Allen nuts rather. This is the number 5. Pop those loose. I like to loosen them up one at a time. Once you get those 3 off, caliper comes apart. Alright, I got these 3 Allen screws loose. I got this threaded back in all the way, the old cable. Pop these out, and you'll get to see for the first time along with me. If you're wondering how I'm unscrewing, using both my hands to unscrew this, and still hold the camera, I'm using my feet to hold the camera. There we go. Take that out, set it aside. And this is the inner workings of the brake caliper. We're going to find out about this little white disc here in a minute, but meanwhile, you can just ease all this out. Alright, hold that over there like that. Your old cable, you're going to want to push up through there. Is that coming in the video okay? Mm-hmm. Then this piece slides out. Should have brought a pair of pliers along here. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get a screwdriver. Here we go. Come around here, Carrie. You can see it's the same slotted type mechanism right there. It's going to slide over the cable. Slide that up. And off the cable. You can see there what I was working with. Slide this off the cable. Set that on the side for now. Then we can unthread this the rest of the way. Get your old cable out. Then we're going to be getting knocking the pads out. The old brake. Let's keep unscrewing this. This one is really long. That's what she said. Alright, this cable is history. Don't need nothing off of it. Now, there's one pad here, one pad on the inside right there. There's actually a little rubber cover here. You can take that off to punch this out, but we're going to PB blaster this, get that nice and loosened up, get in here, wiggle this back and forth, and slowly ease that old pad out. I'll be back once we get those out. Alright, those are the two pads. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pry bar, get in there and kind of ease that other pad up. I'm going to lightly put this in yonder vise. Just ease that up.
Hello? I'll be right back, okay?
Well, I say ease that up. It's not coming up that easy. There we go. Just kind of pop it loose till that old pad comes out. That's worn down. It's not as bad as I thought it'd be, but definitely worn. Then we're going to get in there and polish that real nice and oil it, grease it, so that the new pad is in and out real easy. I'll show you for reference. Here's the new pads. Just for reference, there's how much they're worn down. Pretty good wear down. Now, a smaller pad here on top, there's just going to be this rubber ring. Here, I can probably show you on this pad. There's like a little teat coming off the interior pad, and you just, I'm using a little screwdriver. Put it around here, just a soft tap. I get that busted loose. There we go. Alright, and this inside caliper, like I showed you, there's that rubber housing ring right there. Line that pin up, pop it in. Then with our other pad, was actually an O-ring on there. So I've taken that, put that on, and I've given a light coating of grease. And that just slips right down the side. The old one. I need to get my new cable, but then I'll show you what you want to do here now before reassembly. Alright, there's this pin that goes in there, obviously. But see, you want to pull this white cap back and collapse this. Collapse that back into it. Alright? It's kind of hard to explain. Hopefully you're getting out a video from a good angle. Collapse that all the way in. Alright? Alright, so we got the other pad dropped in. That is the new cable. Put that in. Are you even shooting it? I like to run this all the way in. Actually, want to stop at least right there before that threads all the way into this cavity. Stop the threads before it gets right in there. All right. Go back down here, push that in all the way so we have plenty of slack on the cable. Plenty of slack. There's a little tab right here on this ring. And that, make sure that tab, I'm working up here now. Make sure that that tab aligns with that little slot and that pin aligns with the ring. Just like so. So that drops back in together, okay? This is a little tricky.
I don't care what you watch.
So put this over the cable end. Large end towards the back. Slide that over the cable. Like so. Pull the cable down into it. Align this with the notch. in the hole, like so. Then, and this is where you have to adjust it, but you're going to go ahead and put this on for now. Finger tighten these up. I'll show you the adjustment. I'm not going to tighten this down all the way. I'll show you how to adjust once we get this on. Alright, we got the caliper put back on, everything tightened up. These are still just finger tight because we're going to do some adjustments on the actual brake. So the new Shorty cable comes in and goes right here, and we just eliminate the cable to the front. So once you get the cable off, slide this little rubber housing forward, and that drops into there. Okay, put that protective housing back on. Kind of obvious, this goes into here. Now this is the new part that comes with your Shorty cable, cotter pin, little keeper, washer, etc., etc. This pin goes in first. And it goes through the cable, through the front end. Try and get that in. Then this little fat washer, the cotter pin, line that up, bring it in to the back side of your actual brake pedal. Okay. Got a little hook. I'm gonna use this to line up my hole good. Feels pretty good. Washer, cotter pin. Let's get that in. I don't think I need to explain how to operate a cotter pin, but that just turns around here. Alright, got that attached. Brake pedal on. I'll show you. Got the brake pedal floored right now. Not doing anything, not stopping at all. So here's how you adjust this. And it's a little bit tricky. Just take these back off once the caliper's on. What I want to do is take this housing cover off. This sometimes takes a couple tries to get it just right. You want to hold this in and turn this dial right up until when you feel pressure. Right there. Now you give it just a teeny bit more. Put this back on. This is kind of hit and miss. It's supposedly self-adjusting. What I understand is it doesn't really self-adjust that great. Let's get this housing back on. I can tell you about this blaster. It is 99, I think, and it is factory original. Those are the original back tires right there. But what makes this blaster so special is the wheels are gold. No, not yellow, gold. Right, we got that tightened up, and we got a little bit of brake. Actually got a lot of brake. But you should be able to feel that. Now that's going to stop me. I can barely turn it. So I might need to loosen that back up, but it's kind of a hit and miss feel type of thing to get it adjusted out just right. But that's the rear brakes on a Yamaha Blaster.